The tragedy isn't autism. The tragedy is the lack of understanding, lack of resources, and lack of support from our society. The ultimate goal of parents, educators, and professionals who interact with children with autism is to unlock their potential to become self-reliant, fully integrated, contributing members of society. Because of the overwhelming statistics of 1 in 88 children being diagnosed with autism in the U.S., there are probably many of us who have been associated with an individual who has it. Knowing what we can do to help or just be there when needed can make a big difference in a child's life that is part of the autism spectrum. I myself have a niece who has been diagnosed with autism. I really never knew how devastating it could be for a child who has been diagnosed until my niece Isabella came into our lives. Autism is an ever-growing disease in the U.S. today. It is a mental condition present from early childhood and characterized by difficulty in communicating and forming relationships with other people, and in using language and abstract concepts. The first step in raising awareness for autism spectrum disorder is to educate our society on what it is like to walk in their shoes. Autism can be a very puzzling disease, even for people who spend their whole lives around it. Preparing those around our children with just a simple understanding of autism's basic elements has an incredible impact on the ability to journey towards productive, independent adulthood and to be able to reach their goals in life. At autismspeaks.org, they list several things that every child with autism wishes that we knew. What it is like to be in their situation, how they live, and how they interpret life. Their senses are all out of sync, so sound, touch, taste, sight, smell can all be very painful for autistic children. You need to distinguish between won't, I choose not to, and can't, I am not able to. Focus and build on what they can do rather than what they can't do. They also interpret language literally. So don't use idioms or puns, metaphors, etc. If you tell them it is pouring cats and dogs, they literally see pets coming out of a pitcher. Just tell them it is raining hard. Listen to all the ways that they are trying to communicate. Be alert for their body language, because for the most part they cannot tell you what their wants and needs are. We need to help them with social interactions. They do not know how to intertwine with other people. And most importantly, identify what triggers their meltdowns, because meltdowns can be so horrid for these children and occur because one or more of their senses go into overload. Children with ASD can grow beyond their limitations and develop into wonderful, productive people. All we have to do is see through those limitations to the bright children that they really are. Bring them past their difficulties without allowing them to be labeled and restricted by their diagnosis. Love them conditionally, no matter what. They are still human beings. Now that we have an understanding of how an autistic child's wants and needs differ from ours, we can explore the many ways that you can reach out and touch their lives. There are various programs and organizations out there that you can become a part of. Volunteering is just a little bit of your time to these children can make all the difference in the world. And of course, you can also donate financially to help in the research, education, and medical needs of this disease. There are walk and run events and family nights hosted that you can go to get an education as well as help raise funds. You can sign up to participate in tournaments such as sporting tournaments, golf, bowling. This also helps to raise funds. One that I just participated in the past weekend with my niece was a Little Miss Amazing pageant. It was held at Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri, and it was the most emotional thing I've ever seen in my life. Angels of Hope, National Autism Center, Autism Speaks, and Autism Research Foundation are a few of the programs that my family and friends are a part of. And as a result of the growing number of children being diagnosed with autism, there is a growing need for more volunteers and finances in support of these programs. When I look into the eyes of my beautiful niece, I know that she has so much trapped inside her and cannot find a way to get it out. She endures a pretty severe case. She has to communicate via sign language because she cannot speak. At the age of 8 years old, she is still in diapers. She has pretty severe sensory issues and displays numerous constant movements and physical tics. I so want to know what is going on inside her head, but that is probably never going to happen. The prognosis of a child with autism is extremely unpredictable. Their futures are unknown and very scary, and there are so many questions that go unanswered. So in conclusion, although there is no cure for autism spectrum disorder, there are many ways that it can be dealt with, and you can help to do it. A person with autism feels love, happiness, sadness, and pain, just like everyone else. Just because some of them may not express their feelings in the same way others do, does not mean that they do not have feelings. They do. It is crucial that the myth that autistic people have no feelings be destroyed. It is a result of ignorance, and therefore it is important that you educate people who carry this myth in a helpful and informative way. What if one of these children was someone you loved? Could you gaze into their eyes without wondering how their very unpredictable life is going to turn out? Without wondering what you could have done to help them overcome their limitations? I know I couldn't. So please, make the choice to help these children. Every little bit helps. You can visit the website autismspeaks.org to sign up to be a volunteer, and if your schedule doesn't allow for your time, then Autism Speaks would very graciously accept your financial donations. The worst thing you can do is nothing. Ivar Lovaas once quoted, "If they can't learn the way we teach the way they learn." This is one of the most powerful statements that can be made about autistic children, and is the only way we are going to be able to give them a chance in life.